We are going to invite Dr. Dawn Menge to the platform. She will be talking on why sharing our experiences helps, an invitation to reflect on the healing and connection that comes through our personal journeys.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. I'm here to tell you how to share your stories through written word. And this can also be used to help build up your speeches too. And I wanted to start by sharing what I'm doing. I was getting my credential in literature for disabilities, and they asked us to write a math book. So I wrote one based on my students and the calendar skills. We took it around to the local schools, and my students did little skits. I would go back the next day, we'd talk about their disabilities, their behaviors, kind of an inclusion of our students. And so I was getting divorced, and I decided to publish it. So I named it after my grandmother. Her name was Vernita, and she founded a credit union, and she traveled the world. So I started that, and then all of the people, and so it's based on the months of the years. So each month had a new friend and a new activity. There were all the children in our family, because I thought, they're not going to care. And all I was doing was publishing that one children's book. Immediately got first place in the EV Awards, which is an independent publisher in Colorado. Started getting interviews, and they were asking me, what are you doing next? I'm not. That was it. That's all I was doing. I'm a teacher. Most teachers want to publish a book. So I did that. So we love to travel. So I decided to base the books on Queen Vernita, who's traveling around her kingdom, and she's learning about the different flora and fauna. So this one is in Kona, Hawaii. I spent a lot of time there. This one is Tucson, Arizona. So I live in California. So these are all based on things in the United States. And the books are pre-K to 6th grade. This one is one of my mom's favorites. We took the train to Williams, Arizona, to the Grand Canyon, and then went on the Polar Express. And everyone in the book is someone that was on the trip. So this is our family. And my illustrations are based on actual pictures of the trip. So my illustrator takes the pictures that we take. Like this is my son and my daughter-in-law and one of my grandchildren. And they're reading. And so Land of Quails House has started a new initiative, spreading literacy around the world. In December, I went to Ghana, Africa with a book group. And we worked with a nonprofit that helped the children there in a fishing village stay out of sex trafficking. And so they had like an after-school program, and they were teaching them life skills. Well, I teach my students life skills. So I went all the way across the world, and they're teaching their students basically the same thing we're teaching our students. So we have all these commonalities. So how many people have grandmothers? Everybody, right? Some of us are grandmothers. So you have this commonality between people from around the world that you don't know about. And the things that have happened to you, they've happened to someone else, but they don't know what to do with it. I mean, these books are based on the good things that have happened in my life, but I have one that's based on something that was not good that happened in my life. I had some people that were not very nice, and they kind of stalked me, had to sell my house. So I wrote a book about it to teach children how not to hurt other people if you're angry or jealous. And it's being read all over the world. Precious the baby dragon is the good dragon. So the bad dragon left her egg, and we, the king and queen, raised the baby dragon to be good. And this book has won, I think, 60 film festival awards. So she was talking about film festivals yesterday. So I do a lot of film festivals. My books have won over 200. And in San Diego last summer, they turned the local group, kids group, turned my book into a live action play at the film festival. And it was one of the most exciting things I've ever seen. They added singing and dancing and jokes. And they were wonderful. They had a week to practice. So they were wonderful. So there are so many things you can do. Like, you don't need a screenplay to enter a film festival. You know, you can enter your book. And I also have a deal for a film on Netflix with a series. and we're starting production finally now. So hopefully it will be on there soon. But my journey was not intentional at all. My journey was to get my credential to teach my students. And so it has just gone a completely different direction. And that's what you have to do in life, is take those yeses. If someone gives you an opportunity, you say yes. Like, we're all here because we said yes. So by saying yes for my author journey, I judge children's books. I have judged romance books. I write book reviews for a children's magazine. I've been on panels. I went to Africa, Italy, Ireland, and now I'm here. So you have to say yes to opportunities, even if you don't feel confident about it, or you're like, why am I going to do this? Because that is going to lead to something else, to something else, to something else. This is exactly what she was saying last night. Yes, you have to say yes. And, you don't have to have a plan. Look, if I do this, it'll do this. No, you just go, you try it, you do it. I haven't slept all week since we've been here because we're off on the time. And after last night, and I fell asleep while she was doing her healing. Hopefully I wasn't snoring. But I went to bed and I'm like, oh, I hope I sleep. The bed was so soft, I went right to sleep. And I slept all night, didn't want to get up. And so, I've never even heard of sound healing. And now my mom's getting, information for it. Yeah. And so we've already learned. So now we can go home. No, I'm kidding. But we've already learned something new. So inside of your notebook, I have a workbook where it teaches you how to figure out what you want to write about. And so inside of here, it talks about the 8 reasons why we share our experiences. And it is hard. It's hard to get out there because people are very critical, And so one of the reasons is sharing with others helps us process the experience. It helps us heal when we talk about it. If we leave it inside, it builds up and it turns into all this bad stuff inside of our body. But if we talk about it, we help ourselves and we help other people. Sharing with others creates a bond through common experiences. I was on the other side of the world in Africa, and we had so much in common. The teachers, what we're teaching, what they're teaching, and they're trying to help their children stay out of sex trafficking, and they work in little fishing boats, and they go out and they actually die because they get stuck inside the nets. They have to dive down and undo the nets. And so they're giving them a way out. Number 3, it helps us to determine our core values. Sometimes we're raised with values that don't align with us when we grow up. And so we have to figure out what we want to keep and what we don't need anymore. Freely communicating creates an environment for positive collaborations. The more open you are about what you're doing, the more open other people will be. Helps us to fully be present in our lives as we share with others. And we talked about that too, being here right now, not worrying about yesterday or tomorrow or what's going to come from this conference. We're here right now. And so this is what we're doing. Reflecting on past positive experiences gives us a foundation for new experiences. Oh, so we tried something new and it worked. So let's go try something a little harder or a little more venturesome. I've been swimming with sharks and whitewater rafting in Mexico, and I went snorkeling in Alaska. I don't think I'd do that now. I'm getting a little older, but I never thought about doing those things before that. So you always have to try new experiences. When we engage in shared experiences, everything is better when shared with others. Well, we all know that, right? Being here. Positive emotions are contagious, aren't they? If you're happy, then someone else is going to be happy, and then they forget about whatever it is they were thinking about. It probably didn't really matter that much anyway at that moment. So if you go to these are some copies from my workbook. Unleash your passions. All right? So I'm going to give you a few minutes to write down. You write down a significant life experience and just jot some notes about it. And then we'll share. Well, while you're thinking about that, I'll tell you about one little experience I had. I went to a little island off of California. It's called Catalina Island. And I went with a friend of mine, and he set up something that was really interesting. I didn't even know you could do. We went lobster fishing. So we went out, we put the baits out, put the traps out with Captain Ron, who drank a little too much. But it was a lot of fun. And then we went back, we pulled up all the lobsters. I took it home, and we had a lobster in-steak dinner with my children. And it was so much fun. I haven't figured out how to make it into a story yet, but I didn't even know you could go lobster fishing. And so just think about some of the things that you've done that you think maybe someone else might not be interested in, but somebody out there is going to be interested in it. And all you have to do is impact one person. And it could be one person on the other side of the world, but it's just that one person that you start with that you help. Or you get them to go do something different. I was doing a podcast interview a couple years ago during the pandemic, and it was in Philadelphia. And the guy said, "Oh, I was talking to my friend about you, and she's been reading your books. They get them at the library with her son." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know that." So she actually got a second job so she could take her son out and take him traveling. And I would never have known that if I wasn't doing the podcast. And I didn't even know my books were in that library. And so, you have to say yes to things, and you will find new experiences. So is anybody ready to share? Are you ready?
I think mine is all about helping others.
Okay.
So I feel good when I help others. So that's why, with my purpose, what I found is helping others.
Okay, is there a specific way that you help others?
So workshops, mentorship,
Okay.
Leadership.
Okay. How did you get into that?
From my personal experiences.
And
From my past pain, and I turned my pain into purpose.
yeah, there we go. Very nice. Very nice. Is anybody else ready to share?
It was to say that, Dr. Dawn, to say thank you very much indeed for sharing your story, and everybody else sharing their story too. Yes, so my story started back in Jamaica, and I left the West Indies when I was about 6 years old, and I came by myself, but left the whole village behind. And actually the whole village came to the airport to see me off.
Oh my gosh.
And it was basically a quest to go and find my father.
Oh.
So that left a massive gap in me as a child. And more or less everything stems from then, from the fact that I was nearly aborted, apparently my mum told me. And so the quest really was to find my father.
Yes.
And to find closure and everything else. But my life was a major wreck, basically. Oh. And I then fell pregnant years later, and I had a forced abortion, sadly. That, again, another complete mess, and caused infertility, caused near death, and so on and so on and so on. And then I got married and had children, and I nearly lost them during pregnancy. And now I'm turning the loss of my child 40 odd years ago into positivity, but also into rescuing other mothers who have gone through mental health distresses. That's what my doctor told me. That's what happened to me, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
And so basically he was trying to save me from further mental health distress, but he didn't realize that I then became mentally distressed after
Of course.
the forced abortion. And it's been 40 years now. But what I just want to say quickly is that I'm turning the pain of the loss of my baby 40 years ago into rescuing other mothers who've gone through mental health distress during pregnancy, but also rescuing unborn babies that need not have been aborted, just like mine was. Her name is Destiny.
Oh,
Destiny.
it's a beautiful name.
So, so it's basically to do with that, really, and rescuing other babies. And I'm also a campaigner for human rights as well.
Oh, see
But
that?
for the babies, for the mothers, for those who are disabled within the womb. So I'm turning my pain into rescuing the next generation.
And you're probably saving lives.
Yes, absolutely.
Not just the babies, but the mothers, the families, keeping them together.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
So that's wonderful.
yes.
Do you find that opening up at first was really hard?
Just now, you mean?
No, I mean, just
sorry.
in general, when you started.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Because you know why? I'd swept everything underneath the carpet because it's not a done thing telling people about your story.
Right.
Because I'm shy anyway. And I love people. I absolutely adore people. And people share their stories with me. But I couldn't share my story with others because it's not the done thing. But
Right.
I just want to say quickly what has transpired from going through a forced abortion, but also going through a loss of a baby. I am currently, this is quite shameful, but I'm actually currently going through hoarding. I've been keeping baby prams, you name it, my children's clothing, you name it, anything to do with babies. And right now, my whole house is full of everything. You know, I'm saving. my house is basically like a refuge center. You know that term.
Yes.
And my home has never been that way. And the thing is, I've blinked, and all of a sudden, the house is full. And because I have disability, hidden as well as mobility issue, it's not a safe place for me to be.
Oh, okay.
So all I'm trying to say is that that's what's transpired from a loss of my own child. And it's been horrendous. It's been horrendous because I'm now trying to deal with the chaos. And I've literally running away. I've just run away from home and I've just come here. And I just want to say thank you to Dr. Samani. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then that's all I have. And so just work on your sharing.
Yes.
And it does heal. It takes a while. It takes a while. You got to go through all that and come to terms with it because how old were you?
About 17, 18, something like that.
Yeah, so you were still a young woman and it was forced onto you. So it's going to take a while to get through all of that. But well, thank you, everybody. Oh, I did want to mention we have a new email that you might be interested in. It's a video email that's coming out at the end of July, and it's in my stand store if you want to look at it. But it's going to be wonderful, and you can make your own videos and send them through email and connect with your family, your friends, colleagues, your business people, whoever you want to. So if you want to look at that, it's in my stand store. All right, thank you.